So this is how far I've gotten so far. Just took the water pump off and all that. And looking inside, this bad boy's almost spotless. Let's see how far we can get in. Not really any muck. Just the tiniest bit of junk right there. But that's not even enough to be concerned about. I mean, this thing is like, you can kind of see some stuff. I'm going to get out what I can. But, I mean, this thing's clean. I almost want to pop that freeze plug out of the back and see what the back end's looking like. But at the same time, I don't. So I don't know if I should or if I shouldn't. Heck, for that matter, I should pop all these out. But anyway, yeah, so can't really see much in there. Not really any oil, so to speak. Yeah, it's looking good. Doesn't look like it was burning any oil at all. Like there's no oil inside anything. So I'm assuming the rings are still good from the looks of things. Because the exhaust valves are spotless. Sweet. Good rings, man. Hopefully, I didn't see any cracks in the heads. Let me see, I'm looking at this through the camera. So I don't know. I don't know what a crack in the head would look like because I've never seen one. But anyway, so far so good. And there's the bolt. The broken bolt. Only drilled in part of the way. Is it showing up? And I just tapped in the easy out. This set was $10 at Ace Hardware. Made in the USA. I almost bought a Cobalt set yesterday, but it was made in China. So I went online and found this. Took me about 6 seconds to get that out of there. Alright, we're back in business. About to pull the oil pan off. So you guys who watch this video are going to get to see the same thing I see. There's the pan. I got all the 7/16 or whatever size they are. I have all these bolts out with the 7/16 socket. About to switch to 1/2 inch to get the 4 corner bolts out. Right there. And of course, all 4 corners. I'm going to pull the side cover. Check that out. And I'll probably pull the draft tube just to look down in there and see how it's looking in there. And check out the rocker arms real fast. Where'd they go? There they are. Now I had to look at the rocker arms and one of them has a groove, but I can't remember which one it is. So I'm going to pull one off the motor that's in the car now when I do the swap. Absolutely zero sludge. This motor, I don't know if it was pulled a long time ago or what, but this thing is like, looks like there's some water in there. Doesn't smell like gas, so it's got to be water. I don't think it's a head gasket because the plugs looked really clean. Where'd the plugs go? Maybe I threw them out. I don't know where they are. Did I put them back in? Oh, I did put them back in. Alright, so the plugs look, they're not white. They all look like this. So they're not white. And they don't have any discoloration. I mean, they look good. They look like they're old, but they don't have any oil caked on them. Now I can't get it back in. But anyway, they all look like that. So that's what the inside of the pan looks like. We're going to be flipping this motor over here in a sec. Of course, the drop of oil fell an inch too far over. That's my luck though. Alright, let's get the side cover off over here. You see how we're looking in there. And I got all new gaskets coming from Rock Auto. I have a rubber rear main seal They said they switched over to rubber, or the option for rubber in 55. This is confirmed off of the block number. It is either a 55 or 56 block. This Y right here, I don't know if that's showing up. It's a Power Glide motor. I haven't deciphered the rest of the code yet, but I'm about to. And I'll tell you all what that means. And it also has, I started looking at it, and it's the head and block number for a 55 truck, which of course is a solid cam. And they didn't use this block on Power Glide cars in 55, so it must be a 56 block with a leftover 56 head, because I think it's from earlier in the year. But it has the plug right there for the hydraulic lifters. So it's definitely a Power Glide car. I don't know if I said this before, but this is nice and solid. I stabbed it with a screwdriver a bunch of times due to my last video, if y'all watched it, about when I put the other motor in and it was leaking coolant everywhere. But anyway, I'm going to get the side cover off real fast. And again, it's pretty clean in there. They still use this tube, which I actually prefer, because I'm going to take this tube off and make sure it's unclogged. I'm going to try and, let me do this like this. I'm going to have to pull these push rods out before I do anything with this. Like, for real, do anything with it. Alright, so no external oil line. Like I said, I looked at the rocker arms already, and there was one groove on one rocker arm. So, must have been getting good oil flow, but I'm going to pull the distributor anyway and put my drill down in there and run it and see if oil comes out. See how it's looking. I guess I'm going to pull the rocker arms and lay them, I don't know where to put them. I don't want them to warp. Or not the rocker arms, the push rods. I'm going to get those cleaned up, get everything cleaned up. I'm just happy to find out it actually has hydraulic lifters, because that's what I wanted. And it's 100% an original motor, so I know it's going to have, I guess it has a good cam unless something went wrong. But, yeah, I'll pull the push rods, and then I will flip it over, see how it's looking. So let me go ahead and do that real fast. I'll be right back. I have a little bit of coolant drained out. Not a big deal. It's clean. It's really clean. I didn't realize this pickup was supposed to move like that. It has this little thing to stop it. I guess it moves so it's always level with the oil. I had no idea. I want to pull the rear main off, but it's not leaking, and I hate to disturb it. I want to check that seal, but I can tell it's not leaking because there's not puddles of oil in the back like there was on this motor. And the other motor was covered in oil, but I just assumed it was just from being old, but now it's leaking like crazy. But everything looks really good inside. Like super clean. Even the screen's not clogged up with a bunch of junk, which is nuts. So, here's the camshaft. All the lobes look good. Doesn't look like there's anything not working right, not running smooth. So that's that. They are a little discolored, but I think that's just normal. And if somebody knows otherwise, let me know. I guess after so many years, they're not going to look brand new. But I have to measure that to get, where am I? That hole, and on the other side for the motor mounts. And I am eventually going to use the side motor mounts. Next spring, I guess I'm going to put them in. But I'm going to drill the holes right here just to make it a one-day project, as opposed to measuring out for the new mounts, welding them on, and all that. So yeah, there's the inside of it. Looks good. Got to take this other old gasket off of here. I guess that's going to be a project in itself. We'll see how easy that comes off. I guarantee that's the original gasket. Alright, so far that's what we have. So, pulled the fuel pump. I tested it, it's not doing anything. So I'll just use the other one. Got the gaskets all taken off and cleaned out and scraped off. So that's ready for the new gasket. Looks like I might have to hit it. Just wipe it down a little bit. I'll probably hit it with some brake cleaner. I'm going to RTV it on both sides of the gasket. Real thin layer so it's never going to leak. I don't know if I'm going to pull that rear main seal. I don't know if there's a way to tell if it's any good or not without, I mean, not if it's any good, but I don't know if there's a way to tell if it's the rubber seal or the rope seal. If it's the rope seal, I'm not fooling with it. If it's the rubber, I want to change it. So now we wait for gaskets. I'm going to clean this oil pan out, get all the old oil out and stuff like that. And then it's time to put it all back together. I was trying to decide if I should use the factory water pump with an electric fan, but I don't think I'm going to. I'm just going to get that plate and I'm going to have to drill the holes in the head or wherever they go. I don't know where they go. I had a shop do it last time. I'm doing it this time because they charged me like $90 to do 2 holes, and I think that's a little crazy. But that's it. So until we get the gaskets, that's where we're at. Sludge. You can kind of see where my fingers left marks. I have it sitting up on its side, trying to let it all kind of run down slowly but surely. I'm not doing anything until I get another gasket anyway, so it's going to have a couple days. I don't think it's supposed to be here from Rock Auto till Wednesday. So I don't even know how to tell if it's if it has a bad head gasket without pulling the head, which I don't want to do because then I'll have to mill the head, which I don't want to do because then they have to take it apart, and at that point you're pretty much into a head rebuild. And I want to put my other head on this motor because this head's lower compression and whatever. So I don't know what to do. Now would be the ideal time to do the head gasket if I need to. The gasket itself is like $20 or something like that. But to get the head rebuilt is $700, and I don't want to do that right now. So if you all know a way to tell if a head gasket's bad without pulling the head, obviously I can't check the radiator with the motor running and see if the coolant's bubbling because, yeah. But anyway, if somebody knows something I don't know, chime in, let me know.